To call the meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance
to the
flag
flag
of
of
the
the United States
America,
of America
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic
for which it
for which
stands,
stands
one nation,
one nation
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice
liberty
for
and
all.
justice for all. All right, thank you, everyone. I'd like to begin by welcoming our Shaker High School student government members who are streaming tonight, and we always enjoy having them with us. I received a nice email today from Michaela Brunel, who actually coordinates student representation to the Board of Education. And she mentioned that the student government runs the Shaker High School food pantry, and that food pantry has to be restocked. It's a food pantry that feeds 30 families. And she wanted me to mention, if we had time, and we certainly have time, that if you'd like to donate to the food pantry, they have a GoFundMe page. And actually, Mr. Kaur referenced the pantry and the GoFundMe link in his May 8th letter to families. And so, Mr. Kaur, I would like you to include that in your letter to families that will be going out this Friday as well. Okay?
I'll be glad to do that, Mrs. Harrison, and I'm so happy that you brought attention to that need. We went across late last week, we crossed the 30,000 mark in the total number of meals prepared and delivered in North Colonie. Our food service and transportation department have really stepped up during this time. Daily transportation delivers, now it's over 120 meals on a daily basis. So they really are meeting a need. Our junior high school also completed a great food drive last week. So our students are certainly standing up as community members and participating and in this important work, and we're very grateful for that.
We are grateful, and very proud of the work that they're doing as well. So we will move on to special reports, and Mike. So Mike, you're going to give us a construction update from Turner.
All right. Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. How about the screen sharing?
It
says I'm disabled right now.
Hang on. You should be good to go.
Okay.
You see the green button at the bottom?
Yep. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, we're there.
All right. So it's a quick update on how the construction is progressing. Just our usual little slide, just so you can get your bearings straight on how the areas of the middle school are identified. Starting off on the north additions, the two-story academic wing is we're down to casework and ceilings for the most part. The one thing we're able to take advantage of with the extended summer break is the egress tunnels that we had to install for temporary egress from the existing school. We were able to take those out and start rebuilding those areas, which otherwise would have been confined to the summer months. As you head over to where the PE studio is, that's following the sequence of the two-story. We got painting, VCT flooring going in. The picture on the left is the new PE studio. There's a rock climbing wall that gets installed in that space that's scheduled to be here next week. Ceiling installation is also ongoing through the corridor. And tomorrow we're gonna place the concrete in the courtyard. That's the picture in the bottom with the orange snow melt system. It's similar to the 2-story. We have the temporary egress tunnel in the 1-story. We're able to take out as well, and so we'll start rebuilding that section. Going back to the music and arts wing, we got drywall and finishing, painting activities going on there. The 2 art rooms is a little farther ahead with the paint. The bottom right is the band area. You can see the drywall on the that stage in the space there. So we're gonna get ready to start hanging within the next week or so. We finished up the brick veneer on the exterior of the building, and a metal panel should follow right behind shortly. Out in front of the building, it's getting to be a little bit busy area out there. Still, we got all the block work. The brick veneer was finished up this past week. You can see the glass being installed in the front entry. The canopy, roofing, the exterior is actually a lot more complete than it looks. We just got to follow with the rest of the glass and the metal panel. And then inside, the terrazzo operation is pretty much taken over what's going to become the cafeteria expansion, as well as the main office. The main office's area is ready to start grinding next week. The cafeteria, the sand bedding is going down as we speak, and will be ongoing for probably the next week or so. The stairs were just installed this past week, and some other finishes are going on in that space as well. Also, with the we're also able to take advantage of the existing cafeteria. So we just got done with some lead paint removal on the existing structural steel that have to be reinforced for some new rooftop equipment. So that demolition is underway as of this week. And the first floor of the existing academic wing is we're progressing through finishes now as well. This is the one wing to the south. You can see flooring, painting, lighting, visual display boards are going in, and that sequence is moving to the north. We also this week started demolishing the existing stairs, which otherwise would have been summer work. So we're able to get a jump on that as well. Outside, last week, the sign was placed for the practice football field, and there's a shot of the secondary baseball and softball fields behind the middle school that are progressing well too. Probably another 2 weeks before we start wrapping those up. Over at the high school, this was the one bit of work that was actually part of phase 1. They did some masonry restoration on an existing chimney. This was just done the other day. The scaffolding just came down yesterday, actually. That's over by the E wing where the main office used to be. And then speaking of the main office, so the top right is what used to be the family home and careers. That area has been, as you see, it's been completely demolished. What you see in that picture is they're actually they saw cut the slab and they're doing the under slab plumbing. We set up the fence around the where we're going to take over the front entrance of the school. Typically, that's all getting set up, and they just started today some of the exterior demolition in that area as well. We were Hewitt Young has started some of the fire alarm upgrades that are eventually going to extend through the entire building. They just started working up on the second floor about a week or so ago. And we're getting an early jump with some interior demo on the second floor of E Wing, not adjacent to where the current main office is located. Over at the elementary schools, this is what used to be the front entrance to the Bout Hills. So they have the structural steel frame up for the one story where the main office addition is going to be located. You can see where they took the exterior wall down at the existing cafeteria, and then the clear story steel is scheduled to show up this week to bridge that gap and piece in the rest of the structure. We're getting a little bit of a start inside too with some interior demo, waiting on a commitment from the abatement contractor to do some of the hazardous material removal. We're making a little more progress. The top right is the shell of the front addition there. The brick's done, roof's on, the storefronts shown up this week, and we're really able to get a jump on the inside. So the bottom below the picture below that, it's what used to be the main office, prepping for hazardous material removals. Same with some of the classrooms that get renovated. And the bottom left is looking towards the main office where the art room and the library expansion is going to be located. Also prepping for abatement work there. It's going to kick off this week. And then really at the other three, the Loudonville, Forts Ferry, Latham Ridge, the only activity there has just been the continuation of the fire alarm upgrades with the electrical contractor. And that'll continue for probably till mid-June in Latham Ridge and Forts Ferry, end of June in Loudonville. And that is where we are at with construction. Any questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Actually, sorry, it took me a second to get off mute. This is Sandy, and this question is maybe more for Joe. I'm sure you've already worked this out with the graduation as it's going to be as such with the drive-through. That's all worked out in terms of construction, right? There's not like the fencing that went up around the front entrance, the drive-through graduation will be.
Well, yeah, we have a drive-through activity. We haven't finalized on graduation yet. We have a drive-through activity that will be scheduled that the high school is working on right now. In terms of the absolute final word on graduation, we continue to work with the county, with the governor's office, and getting the final word as to what our absolute plans are going to be.
Okay, but if you're doing drive-through, just to make sure that, the construction.
Right, we would be absolutely communicating there.
Yeah, and the bus loop is going to be free and clear. We just took over the little parking area that's right at the main entrance.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Any
Looks
other
good.
board members have questions for Mike tonight? I don't see any questions. Mike, thank you very much for the update. We always appreciate your coming to talk to us about the project.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right.
Thanks. We're going to be moving on, and we're going to be moving on to personnel. I'd like a motion to approve personnel actions. Mrs. Nardolillo?
I move to approve personnel actions as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
Thank you. In a second, Mr. Cannon, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve recommendations regarding placement and classification of students. Can't see hand. Mr. Vondell? He's muted.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I move approval of recommendations regarding placement classification of students as reviewed by the district committee on preschool special education for the 2019-20 and 2020-21 school years, and recommendations regarding placement classification of Students as reviewed by the District Committee on Special Education for the 1920 and 2021 school years as recommended by the Director of Pupil Services.
Thank you. And a second. Ms. Shavo, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve a health services contract. Mr. Gaynor? He's muted too.
Sorry about that. I move to approve the health service contract with Rensselaer City School District for North Colonie residents attending private and parochial schools in their district for the 2019 and 20 school year as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. In a second, Mrs. Pangburn, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve a resolution to accept a donation. Mrs. Pangburn,
I move to approve the resolution to accept the donation as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
thank you. In a second, Mr. Shavo, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve.
Miss-
I'm
Miss-
sorry, Mr. Core?
Yeah, I'd just like to recognize our community partner here, CS Arch, who has made that donation to our students and to assist in remote learning.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Stan. Thank you. And I'd like a motion to approve some change orders. I need change order. Mrs. Durazio?
I move to approve the following change orders. One change order, COR 020 in the amount of $11,615 to the Bet and Kring LLC contract. Two change orders, COR 039 to 040 totaling $13,216 to the Bunkoff General Contractor Inc. contract. One change order, COR 011 in the amount of $5,350 to the Family Dan's Mechanical LLC contract. One change order, COR 017 in the amount of $7,673 to the Flex Electric LLC contract. Three change orders, COR 005 to 007 totaling $66,052 to the Sullivan Contracting Inc. contract as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second. Mrs. Pangburn, any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
Well,
Sorry, Mrs.
I have
Pangburn.
I have a question quickly. In the resolution, some of these numbers are in parentheses. So those are actually negative numbers. They're reductions in scope or reductions in cost.
The credits.
That's correct, yes.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to see some going the other way.
Certainly is. Any other questions? All right, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve a resolution to appoint election inspectors. Mr. Vondell?
I move to approve the resolution to adopt election inspectors for the June 9th, 2020 annual election and budget vote as recommended by the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. And a second? Mr. Cannon, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the 2020-2021 proposed budget. Mrs. Nardolillo?
I move to approve the 2020-2021 proposed budget of $117,979,501 as recommended by the Budget Committee.
All right, thank you. And a second? Mr. Vondell? Any questions or comments? Mrs. Nardolillo?
I'd just like to make a comment. I believe this Board of Education will unanimously support this budget. And I would like to say a huge thank you for the innovative thinking and brainstorming by Mr. Core, Ms. Skeels, Mr. Hoot, Mr. Deneen, the entire administrative team, the business office. This budget meets the needs of our students. It maintains academic opportunities. It addresses their social and emotional well-being, maintains extracurriculars, athletics, without staffing layoffs, and at a near 0% tax rate increase. All at a time when we're facing an additional 20% reduction in state aid. I'd say that's phenomenal, and I'd say they produced an ingenious budget. Can't thank them enough. So on behalf of the Budget Committee, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nordell.
Yeah, job well done.
Thank you too, and I want to extend my thanks to my Board of Education colleagues and our community budget members. This board is a board that is active, seeks to be well-informed, and are outstanding community partners and community stewards in the education of the children of North Colonie. And for that, I am very grateful, and we are all grateful in our school community for your outstanding work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All in favor? Thank you. I would like a motion to approve the 2020-2021 property tax report card. Mrs. Pangburn,
I move to approve the 2020-2021 property tax report card as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
thank you. In a second. Mr. Gaynor, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Going to committee reports, I don't know, Mr. Martellillo or Mr. Vondell, if you'd like to say anything more about the budget?
The only thing I'd say is that, to echo Mary's statements earlier, is that it was an extraordinary effort on the part of the staff, the administration, the business office, just everybody. So thank you very much for that effort.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Core, we'll go to you for the enrollment report.
Yes, this is the enrollment report for the period ending April 24th, 2020. And we start measuring on September 27, 2019. From that time period, we are at the elementary level, our current enrollment, 3,021, we're up 24 students. Our junior high school enrollment is 869, we're up 7 students. And we currently are 2027 at Shaker High School, down 11 students. Total district enrollment is up 20 students from September. We now stand at 5,917 students.
Thank you very much. There are no recognitions tonight, so we'll move to the treasurer's report. I'd like a motion to approve it, as well as the extra classroom activity fund. Mr. Gaynor?
I move to approve the treasurer's report, March 2020, and the treasurer's reports for the extra classroom activity fund, March 2020 revised, and April 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Mr. Razio, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve bills and payroll. Mrs. Grinnell?
I move to approve bills and payroll April 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
All right, thank you. And a second? Second, Mrs. Nardolillo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the investment report. Mrs. Pangburn?
I move to approve the investment report, March 2020, as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. In a second, Mr. Vondell, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the monthly financial statements. Mr. Gaynor?
I move to approve the monthly financial statements for March 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second, Ms. Grinnell, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the BOCES bill adjustments. Ms. Grinnell?
I move to approve the BOCES bill adjustments April 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second, Mr. Rosio. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes from our regular meeting, April 22nd. Regular meeting minutes. Mrs. Nardolillo?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 22nd, 2020, as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
Thank you. And a second, Mr. Cannon, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you very much. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the Budget Committee meeting on April 30th. April 30th. Okay, Mrs. Nardolillo?
I move to approve the minutes of the Budget Committee of April 30th, 2020, as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
Thank you. And a second? Ms. Brunel, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, opposed, abstention. All right, thank you very much. And I'd like a motion to adjourn. Mrs. Pangburn,
I move to adjourn.
and a second, Mrs. Durazio, and all in favor? All right, thank you. Thank you all very much, and thank you for all of those who chose to attend our meeting virtually tonight. And we hope to see you. Mr. Moore, is that it? That's it for us, right? There's
Yes, it is.
no
And
other
good
business?
evening. Good evening.
Okay, have a good evening, everybody.
Very much.
Thank you. Good
Good
night.
Good, everybody.
Night, stay well, everybody.